in America today. Heroin addiction is a problem that plagues many people in America. There are many that are willing to change, but most of them can't afford to go to a rehab center. My sister had a heroin addiction and she was completely willing to change. She and her mother looked and looked, but all of the rehab centers that are remotely close to us are around $3,000 per month or more, and those were the cheapest ones they could find. There was no way we could afford it, so my mother rehabbed her at home, which wasn't the easiest. Heroin addiction is a major problem with many people in today's society. There are some that are willing to change, but aren't able to afford any rehab center. I will validate this statement by discussing how heroin is a problem that plagues many people all over, how the problem exists because of a lack of understanding of how serious a drug heroin is, and that the solution should be that there should be free rehab centers available for people who need them. Let's get into the topic. Heroin addiction is a problem that plagues many people all over. One website states, in 2011, 4.2 million Americans aged 12 or older, or 1.6%, had used heroin at least once in their life. 1.6% might not seem like a lot for people who just tried heroin, but another website states that 1.5 million are classified as chronic users. 1.5 million people in America have given their lives to this deadly drug. Recently, my sister joined that 1.5 million. Luckily for her, she wasn't doing the drug intravenously, meaning injecting the drug directly into her veins, or for a long period of time. Heroin addiction can have negative repercussions on the user's family. There are points where the user will start doing anything for money, like stealing or prostitution, or the drug will begin to kill them. Nadia Kooning on CNN's website states, overall deaths from drug overdose are rising yearly. Deaths from heroin exist because people have a lack of knowledge of how dangerous heroin is. Most people begin using heroin without knowing anything about the drug. Some never know how much is too much or how often is too often. Kooning notes that 8,260 people were killed from heroin in 2013. That number is increasing yearly. The more people that have no knowledge about heroin, the more that begin to die because of heroin. One website states heroin overdoses frequently involve a suppression of breathing. This means that heroin overdose forces the user to stop breathing, which is likely what kills them. I am so thankful that my sister sought help when she did, because I wouldn't have wanted her to die from a drug overdose. Heroin overdoses could be avoided if rehab centers were more readily available and more affordable. The best solution is that there should be free rehab centers available for people who can't afford them. If someone is willing but unable to be rehabilitated, it is likely they'll continue to use the drug and eventually die from a drug overdose. Free rehabilitation centers would make it easier for a heroin addict to walk in and receive treatment on the spot. One rehab center says, the typical cost for an outpatient treatment is $10,000, and the residential alcohol and drug rehab ranges between $20,000 and $32,000, depending on the level of help needed. I don't know about you, but I don't have $20,000 lying around. The pricing of a rehab center makes it almost impossible for one to go there. Free or low-cost rehab centers will help reduce the amount of people killed by drug overdose every year. This brings me to my conclusion. Heroin is a drug that plagues many people in America. Many people die from a heroin overdose every day. This can be avoided if free or low-cost rehabilitation centers were available. Offer to help someone if you know that they have a drug problem. Heroin overdoses can be avoided, and the solution is as simple as creating free rehab centers.